What's up, everybody? We are Syntonizar coming at you here with our first pretty much reflection and a thank you to all of our viewers out there.
I guess we'll start off with introductions. I'm Grant.
And I'm Hayden.
Yeah, that's Hayden.
And we don't have Hunter here with us today. He unfortunately could not make it. You know, as you can see his smiling face right there. Alright, so let's dive right on into this here.
I guess we'll start off with our creation story. It all goes back to, I guess when Syntonizar came around, it was in high school. But even before that, we'll start in, I think it was 6th grade for... 6th grade for, was it an English project?
English book report.
Yeah, it was Hayden's book report, so he can give you a little information on that.
Essentially, it was one of those typical middle school Nerf gun war videos here. We were for a book report. It was about war stories over in Iraq, and we had some Nerf guns and figured, hey, we can get some camouflage, get some people together, and we could make a pretty sweet video. And it was sweet at the time.
I think, yeah, we thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. It was pretty impressive.
A++ on the project, in case you guys are wondering.
As always.
So we made that one, and then next year we made another one, but that was essentially that was just for fun. That was our first for fun video. That was also with Nerf guns, but that was actually edited in gunshot sounds instead of just the typical click of the Nerf gun there.
So yeah, we were getting a little better, but not much better. But and then we went on like our 8th grade year. Dogs are barking. We went on to our 8th grade year, and we came out with, we had all camo, and the camera was, I think, the same camera.
We had airsoft guns this time.
We did have airsoft guns.
No Nerf
guns. We improved there. And was it
Austin.
Yeah,
we had a friend help us out and edited that, so that was cool of him. He was 2 grades older than us, so technically a high schooler, so that was a big deal for us back then.
That's pretty sweet for us kids.
So those were our first 3 films. We didn't really make a whole lot of war films after that. And then it ended up, whatever we had named it previously, ended up morphing into Syntonizar here.
And I guess before we even got into Syntonizar, that was during our Spanish classes, I guess we did do a few war films for our history class. If I can't remember what we named them, but that was our first World War II film, I believe. I don't think it even had a name.
I don't even remember that one.
But it was about Guadalcanal and Okinawa.
Oh yeah, and I also remember the Lewis and Clark video.
Yes, we did a Lewis and Clark video.
Yeah, that was we went on a several-hour canoe trip.
Pretty nice harmonica thing going there.
That was good. Yeah, Sacred Hawk. Gee, good times. And then you and Hunter started having Spanish class together.
Yeah, we had Spanish. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 together. And we made our first Spanish video. It might have been 1.
Yeah,
which was Conocemos was our first video. No, I take that back. Our first.
Subterranean Ping Pong.
I think it might have been The Good, Bad, and the Ugly for our first one. And then we started coming up with what is a good name, and we came with the Spanish word of Syntonizar, which some of you may know means tune in, or to tune in, and so we kind of just stuck with that. So it's every time you tune in, you're basically Syntonizar is what we went with.
It's clever. See, I did not know that until now. I'm not even gonna lie.
Everybody's learning. And then once we did that, we had Spanish 1, Spanish 2, and Spanish 3 together, and so we kept producing film throughout that. And then I don't believe we did anything with it until
I was officially readmitted into the group there for the Subterranean Ping Pong, I believe.
Yes, I believe so.
And that's back where my involvement started back up again.
Yeah, and then after high school, we didn't really do much.
We did some films for our brothers. In the classes. You know, that's where you get Lerps there, the Vietnam video, and then that one World War I.
I think
it was
Cherami.
I don't know, it was Cherami. Yep.
then we kind of just went our own different ways there, getting ready for college. I went off to the Army for about 6 months, came back, and we still liked making film.
Yeah,
so-
that's pretty much where we started up here.
Yep, down there.
Sounds good. All right. So Grant comes back from the Army, and it's what was it? It was winter.
Yeah, it was winter, and I started just going on and seeing how our channel was. We had, I think it was 80 subscribers, maybe.
Yeah,
So we started looking for people that had similar tastes, like we did.
Yeah.
And
We filmed some short projects in between there. Hence, that's where you get the Orion really rough draft cut scene, unfinished script back there in the summer, and you get all those other smaller filler films if you were to look at the page.
I'll pop in on
Grant's
here.
actually gonna pull her up for me, so I actually know what I'm talking about here, not just
I'll see
speaking.
see if we missed any.
because I know, yeah, because we had made some like trailers. You guys made that.
Oh, we did do Gilly. I guess we started big on that. That was about a year ago.
We started it, and we made, I mean, we had all these ideas, we had all these scripts written up, and we just never did anything with it. And finally, we get to Grant coming up to me and saying, let's film Freeze.
And we've been wanting to make World War II movie for a very long time.
We
And
just-
one of the ones that
yeah.
we'll talk about later is kind of where we got the idea for. And we had some more gear than we had previously, and we both had more income, so we could buy more props and costuming for it. And so, you know what? Let's do
good.
it.
It looks good.
So we went for it.
Yeah.
And that's where we got into our series of First Platoon, which I guess our main intent wasn't to make it a series, it was just to make Freeze. But I guess we'll start with Freeze and work our way through the series and what we have planned for it.
Yeah. So, upon making Freeze, I know Grant was talking about us both buying a lot of props, but Grant really got the majority of the props there. And when I showed up, I didn't know really what to expect. I ended up just seeing Hunter outfitted completely, and I was a little bit, I nerded out a little bit there. I was kind of in awe, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that was-
pretty much our form of reenacting, because we don't have, we probably have groups we haven't really studied, and we don't have time to reenact, so
I
through our
get that.
films is, I guess,
Our-
a form of reenacting and representing history as we perceived it.
Yeah, or slight stories there. So yeah, we First Platoon just in general. We decided after Freeze ended up actually being successful. Like more, relatively successful. Like it was getting views. I think we're up to how many views?
We have 28,000 at the
28,000. That's a little bit more than I had anticipated ever. I mean, it wasn't the greatest film in the world, but I mean it pulled people in, and that just surprised me in general, that someone, that us from a small town with a very limited budget and amateur filmmaking could at least pull that off there.
Yeah,
That
it wasn't just a one-hit wonder either, because once we did the second episode of First Platoon, Kainongs, that has currently 10,000 views. And
That surprises me too, to be honest. I was
yeah,
I wasn't ready, but
I don't think I'd ever expected that. And that's not even the one with the most views, but we'll get to that. So,
for us, really getting people is one of the hardest problems. Being in a small town and all that. It can be a logistical nightmare at times, just because we have limited people, and those limited people are usually working or going to school, and it's a process.
yeah, it can be a challenge sometimes, but we have been able to work through it. So I'd say we probably have, I don't know, 5 to 6 regulars for the show, and I guess if we really got everybody to come at the same time, we could probably get 20. So I would imagine.
Yeah, it'd be a good number if we could.
Yeah,
It'd be
that
great.
could is the thing.
All right, so we're still in First Platoon, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So take it from here.
Yeah. I think I mentioned before that we're scripting 10, so we're going to start from D-Day, which would be a challenge considering in Wisconsin we're pretty much landlocked. We don't have any oceans that I can think of. Can you think of any?
Nope.
So that'll be the biggest challenge for us, but we do want to give you a D-Day scene, no matter what form that may take. And after that, we'll go and move on to the Fayleys Pocket and Market Garden.
Yep.
And you guys have seen a little bit of Hurtgen Forest.
We'll see a little more.
And yes, you will see a little more. And there'll be 3 Bulge episodes, and then there'll be one final episode towards the end of the war for First Platoon. And I guess what our main idea to the whole series was to show the development of this platoon and just follow the 5 or 6 people in that squad for that platoon.
Yes. All right, and then this brings us to our next film series there, Walter Wolf. Also surprisingly took off a little faster than I was thinking. I mean, of course the view numbers haven't been as high, 800 to 1.3K, but you know, good enough for me. I mean, I was honestly psyched whenever we've got like 60 views on a film.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first time we hit 1,000 was on our Vietnam video LERPs, and I think that's at 16,000.
No, it was the
6,000.
It was the 8th grade film.
Which one was that?
The one we got airsoft guns for the first time. We were running around the woods.
We hit 1,000. Yeah, you're right. I
We
think
did.
we had 3,000 or
We did.
something
That was-
by the end of that, and that was just
I
mind
say
blowing
watch out
for
were
us.
kind of a big deal at that point.
9th grade kids, like wow.
But yeah, so for Walter Wolf here, I come up and Grant tells me, "Hey, I got some German uniforms and gear. You want to make a main character? Want to be the main character for a German series?" And I mean, you know, I was like, "Okay, why not?"
Yeah, and it actually started out with our film Grenadier Hill, which was, well, I guess, a story in itself. It was about 90 degrees and we were getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. But we saw how nice the film looked, and
It wasn't even supposed to be a series at really this time, but I mean,
it wasn't even a series at that point because we filmed Beyond the Veil.
After
And,
that, yeah.
I think those were the 2 that we did, and then we realized, hey, I think we have something here. We have the same character, and he's been
And he's still alive.
in both of them. So we're like, you know what? We're already doing a series with First Platoon, so let's make a series with Walter Wolf.
Beyond the Veil, if we're going to talk about stories in itself, Beyond the Veil is a story in itself. Let me tell you, it was maybe about 80 degrees, a little cooler out. The bugs there, they were holding back that day. But I remember it was still hot. It was a little windy, not too windy though, and we just kicked the crap out of me. They would just tell me, rub dirt on your face. Here's some fake blood for you.
Look, you didn't get poison ivy as well.
I don't get poison. Are you
That's
kidding me?
good.
I had to eat a blood capsule. That was amazing. I was literally at the end of that film when you see me walking out with a Russian uniform on and that helmet over my brim and I'm rubbing my eyes. I was literally rubbing the sweat, dirt, and fake blood off of my eyebrows. My hands were black
You
from
look
all
pretty beat
of
up.
that. It was rough.
Gotta tell them about that grenade part.
Oh yeah, completely unplanned. So I'm laying prone here, and we'll see the clip up ahead right now. So I'm prone behind this, and I throw one grenade out, completely missed. It missed wide. They just start laughing at me, and I'm like, okay, I got this. I throw another grenade. We retake it, miss again. And they're like, come on, expert grenadier. So I take it back and I lob one more out there.
Last final orders for me.
Smoke's the only guy in the head without a helmet on. We didn't know what to do. We just went with it.
Yeah, so we went with it. I mean, you know what? How did that look? So we looked at the tape, and I had just fallen over. So we're like, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. And that's how I met my demise. And he got showered by a nice round of dirt again.
All the time.
One of the couple times in that video.
That's probably honestly one of my favorite ones that we made though. Honestly.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
That was fun to make. A lot of people showed up, and it was a good time. First time using smoke round or dust rounds.
Yeah, I think it was the
powder.
first time using the powder for sure.
And all of that, like especially in the same
But
scene.
yeah, all together.
You know,
That was one of our most complex scenes. which you can see right now.
Mhm.
I had to teach him some quick bayonet training, so he got the hang of it real quick. And really, it doesn't look that complex until you take it into consideration. We had one guy light the firecracker in his rifle.
He dove into a thing of thorns, just a whole like just brush. He just dove into thorns after he lit it just to get out of that shot. I had people shooting paintballs at me.
No, that's good.
Oh.
And then you have the guy with the marker, the paintball gun, shooting the powder rounds, and you have me with red powder to simulate a bullet hit, and he still has to come up and have a rifle fight with George. So all that could have went wrong, but that was the first shot that you see.
That was the only take.
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
And we were pretty impressed with ourselves with that one.
That was great. Yeah, and then we made what, 2 more?
Yep, we made
2 more films.
Hinterwatchen.
And that was when we got some.
No, we made 3 more after that. We have Hinter, we have Execute, and we have Vulnerable.
And one of them was it Vulnerable, where they wanted us to speak for that.
Yeah, Vulnerable was our first time speaking German in a film.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Just in
Read
general.
it off the script, trying to sound it out and not sound like bumbling idiots. So.
We were pretty close, but
Yeah, it turned out pretty well. So I mean,
people liked it.
It was a risk, but we will probably include a little German in the next videos to come as well.
Yeah, not maybe not as much.
Not
just short lines maybe.
Those are a little easier to maintain.
We've also Shadowlands as well. One of Grant and Hunter's original ideas there.
Yeah, we basically wanted everybody to get a chance to be a main character. With First Platoon, it's pretty much everybody gets their own story as a main character. Walter is his shining moment, and he's got his 10s part series there. And we don't know how many more Shadowlands films we'll do, but that is Hunter's. He's the main character, which is the Stalker. I guess it's pretty much a mashup of all our favorite apocalyptic and horror films, and we've always wanted to do one for a long time. We have had an idea to do the Road to Tales, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yep.
And that I can't remember if we've done any ones in the past. I think we wanted to do Goldilocks, which would have been children up to the age of 21 that aren't affected by a disease, and once they reach the age of 21, they die from the disease. So it's basically a world run by kids, basically.
And then our final series that we're here to talk about is Homegrown, and that is actually a joint film series with who was it?
Patriot Films. Go check them out.
And we'll have the link.
I'll put the links below.
But yeah, this is a collaboration with him and them, and they whipped something up here about. You want to go? You know more about it than I do.
Basically, they do a lot of police and SWAT films. They do a really good job, and they had a new series that involves cartels, especially the ones that run through the Midwest. And I asked them and got their blessing, and they said that, yeah, sure, you can make a series along with it. So we went with HRT teams, which is the hostage rescue team. So that's why our first video, they were rescuing a hostage. And we just had all this gear laying around from Gilly, which you guys may have seen, which is our special operations team series, sniper series.
Yes.
But we never really got around to making more than one episode. We did Homegrown just because we had all the gear, and a lot of us are going into the police field. Hayden is... Oh yeah, a lot of our buddies, including myself, are going into criminal justice background through schooling, so we'll all be either patrol officers or detectives, so it's kind of something to practice our skills with, or while at the same time making a movie. And that we're turning it into a series as well. We don't know how many episodes we'll go with it, but we have 4 scripted so far, and I've had a lot of fun making that.
Yeah,
It's-
I enjoy it.
It's you don't have to be limited to what you can show because hey, there's a house in the background, or that's a modern car. It's easy to do. So that's why we kind of like it, especially during this time of year when we're all busy with school and work,
Yeah.
and we don't need that many people to film the episodes with.
Exactly. And then we have a couple standalone films, such as one of our most recents would be the Wendigo film. What was it called?
It was Hunger.
Hunger. Yes. Recent standalone films would be Hunger, Dig. That has the potential to be a series here. We want to look into making more episodes of that. We also have Reborn, World War II film where Grant's dying in a trench here.
I think it's World War One.
One. Yeah.
Yep, World War One. But that was basically we like to give you guys holiday films as well. So you notice we gave you a Halloween film, gave you a Thanksgiving film, and we give you a Christmas film as well.
You're not getting a Valentine's Day one. So now we're going to talk about our film with the most views, which would actually be our gunshot sound effect videos that we have made. We weren't really expecting really a whole lot out of that. We just wanted to get a lot of gunshot sounds for Gilly, actually, is what we were filming those for. And it ended up being, we had a range day out, we just shot, we dropped bullet casings on different surfaces, and we took shots out of with different rifles from different points of the camera standing by. We had a boom mic, and that's where our friend Jake from White Knuckle Films was there to help us with the boom mic.
He's been very helpful in this process.
Very helpful. We took those sound clips and we kept them, and then Grant decided to whip them up into a film.
I was bored one day. I'm sure we were snowed in like we are now, and put it on there. Not really thinking anything of it. I just put them on there so they're all easy access for me.
Yeah, help some people out too. You know?
And then if somebody wanted to hear the sounds, and they could. And I don't know when it started taking off. I think it was last semester in college, and I noticed that it had 20,000 views, and it rose by thousands per day, and now it's on its way of reaching 400,000 views, which is something that I had never even thought of.
We should make all of our films just gunshot.
And I've started making more gunshot sounds. We have one that has 2.2 thousand views, and some of the more newer ones have 433, and I guess ranging from 100. But those surprisingly have a lot of success, and that was something that we never expected.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Oh man! All right, so shifting gears here now. In terms of alternative props as well, we make a lot of our own props. I mean, anything that we don't buy, Grant.
I'll get some here quick. You
makes most of them himself. Yeah, no worries. He's got a lot of time on his hands, it feels like, anyway. He goes and makes some stuff. And, I mean, up close you can tell it's fake, but I mean, well, obviously. But from distances, something like this glued together cardboard sten, for example, was that a marker?
I think it's just a metal piece. So we've done a sten, we have MG42, we have a Browning 1919. Like that. Don't shoot our audience there.
This is, yeah.
I made a hand grenade. I guess, we started out making cardboard ones.
We did, yeah.
We made a couple Nambu pistols for Japanese film, and we made, I think it was 2 M1 carbines.
Yep, I remember that.
Which, hindsight, they were pretty bad, not gonna lie.
But they got the job done.
They did get the job done, and they got us an A for our history project, so I guess I can't complain on that. We'll move on to upcoming projects, and this first one is something that we've been planning for a really long time, and we didn't have the gear at the time to do it, and we wanted to do it, but we graduated high school and kind of went our separate ways for a little bit.
Essentially, we need the people, but other than
that... we need quite a bit of people for it. So I guess this was mainly your idea, and I can tag along, but I'll let you explain it.
Alright, I'm not going to go over a whole lot of detail.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it too much for you.
Essentially, though, it's about an American war photographer who falls behind enemy lines in 1943 France. What was that deep?
It's
All right, so Exposure is about a World War II war photographer who decides to go on a recon mission over France in 1943, who ends up being stranded there and trying to find his way home. That's essentially how it is, and it's supposed to be like a longer film, 50 minutes or more. A lot of ideas and a lot to fill in there, but I don't want to spoil a ton for you.
you'll see. Next we have Orion, which is also we've been planning for a very long time, and really didn't have the resources to make it. But now that we have collected all these items, we have the possibility to make it. So these projects will probably mainly be in the spring and summer once our workloads are down a little bit. And Orion, I guess the concept is that it's a
Sci-fi.
yeah, it's a sci-fi film which we haven't done too much of, and I'll let you explain the Orion concept. Just the Orion, what it means, because I'm sure a lot of you are confused.
Outer Rim Interplanetary Observation Network.
Yeah.
Orion.
Pretty much.
Essentially, it's a company, and that's pretty much all I'm going to leave you guys with there. I'm not going to really spoil a ton because this is actually the biggest work in process that we're, most realistically going to pursue here in the near future.
Yes, we'll be making an outline soon, actually, and then from there we'll go into writing, and then once the weather warms up, we'll do some filming. And then we'll get you it hopefully during the summer.
Yeah, and then we have Road of Tales, which is an idea. Grant made a trailer a while ago. It wasn't really much of a trailer. I mean, it didn't really give out a whole lot, but the concept itself I really like, and I really think it's something we should pursue. This would be a series.
It'd be an apocalyptic series.
Yes, and really that we follow one protagonist through the wasteland, essentially, and you watch him do his thing, really.
Yeah, that's
living it out through his eyes.
Yep, and I guess you kind of get the concept from the name. That's pretty much all I'll give you, is the Road of Tales, if that makes sense to you guys. And if it doesn't now, it will. I guess we'll wrap it up here with. Okay, I think we'll do how much we've grown since even last January when we were looking at it. And I saw we had 80 subscribers, and I was like, wow.
That's a lot.
That's almost 100 subscribers.
That's a lot of subscribers.
And then we started making more films, and once the weapons video got pretty good hits on there, it just started growing rapidly, and I think we've got 200 in the last couple months here, and we're on our way to 1,000. We have
800, right?
I think it was 800 this morning. It's 805 currently, so
it's a big number, and I'd like to say thank you to everybody
Yeah.
who really tunes in here.
it's really our, I guess, mission statement is it's all about the fans and them tuning in, and without you guys, the current subscribers, and especially you guys that comment and we interact with on our Discord and our film chat, it's been really nice interacting with you guys. So I guess
It's nice getting input from everybody.
Yeah, especially that.
It really is. It's also nice getting feedback as to what we do wrong. I mean, I know our acting is like, if here's the line, our acting's about here. We're a little amateur, but
I think we started here and we're getting a little better every film that we do, and especially for you guys. I know a lot of you are just starting out, so don't be discouraged. You see where we started out at, and we're not the expert filmmakers by any means, but we've gotten better with every single film that we've done, and
we've improved ourselves, and that's
and
that's what really matters the most.
if you guys are doing it for the money, you're in the wrong field. I know a lot of you guys are doing it for fun because it's something that you enjoy doing, and that's why we do it. We enjoy making films, and we enjoy having you guys see what we make and seeing what you guys make. And I guess we'll do a few shout outs here. One of the first people I met was Ballisticon Inc. And he really doesn't make too many films at the moment, but he has helped me a lot in a lot of ways. I have a film chat with him, and I really appreciate a lot of his input. And another one, I met him, I think when we were on our 80 subscriber mark, was World War II Soldier 87. Go check him out. He's got a lot of nice World War II films, and he's got a lot of projects planned, and I'm excited for what he has. He's got a real airsoft MG42, which is something I'm not willing to spend any money on.
God, we have a cardboard one.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
for
good
us.
enough.
And then we got Homemade Co. And yeah, his stuff is really cool. He's got a very unique style of filmmaking, so I would definitely recommend checking his out. He just released Chemical 8, which I think is a feature-length film. I think it's at least an hour in length, so that's something that we want to work up to as well. And I just met Latham Films. He's from New Zealand, and he's got some. He's just starting out, but he's got some good project that he's working on. So I would recommend checking him out too. Another good friends from the United Kingdom would be Blitzkrieg Productions, and they are really heavily in the World War II films as well. And he's got a lot of good projects that he's put out. And then we have Patriot Films, which we mentioned before, and they're actually our neighbors. So, well, I guess Wisconsin, Minnesota.
In relative, yeah.
And they have been really helpful. We have pretty good communication with them, and maybe
give a shout out to our families and friends for helping us out, supporting us, giving us locations. My parents both for supporting, me doing, whatever we do.
Yeah, my parents are very supportive as well, and if you've known, pretty much all our films are either filmed on his land or my land, or Hunter's land.
Oh,
so
so
it's basically we're very lucky to have the land available to us, so we don't have to bring all our gear.
And everybody willing to let us film on that land as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And we appreciate everybody who comes in and helps us film. They're not really getting anything out of it whatsoever. They're just kind of showing up and doing it for fun when they can.
And that can be tough when you can have other things that you would rather be doing. But we're working close to 1,000, and then even when we can start making money, it's all going back into Santoni's art. It'll all go for props. And even if we don't make any money, it's not why we do this.
Yeah, we'd still do it anyway. Like I wasn't expecting us to be 800 subscribers.
No, I don't think anybody expected this. I mean, we're not.
So before we leave here, I'd like to know what you guys want to see for the future, and what you guys have liked, disliked, what we've done in the past, and any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. We read every comment. And we try to respond to what we.
Yeah,
everything.
No comment is a bad comment. I mean, we've had some bad comments, but each one we've learned from it. So
yeah
like Aiden said, if you got any ideas, comment below, and we'll see what we can do with them. We like new suggestions, because sometimes the films get pretty dry when we're always doing the same thing. So
yeah,
I guess we'll leave off at that, and
sounds good.
Next time, make sure you tune in. Okay, sweet.
That's a wrap.
Oh, Jesus Christ.